And then just take a moment to start to step into the seat of the observer. As you just take a moment to notice your surroundings, notice your environment. And we just let everything be as is. We start to let go of the agenda for the external world. And then closing your eyes completely as you go within. And begin to oxygenate yourself through the breath, conscious breathing. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Start to feel the expanse from within. Noticing your internal landscape, your inner environment. And start to take slow, deep breaths in, all the way to the bottom of your lungs. As you begin to fuel yourself up, breathing in infinite space, breathing in infinite possibilities. And with every exhale, just letting go, releasing every drop from the body. As you start to witness the breath, noticing the feel as it enters through the nostrils. Noticing the way it travels through the back of the throat, the way it flows all the way to the bottom of your lungs. And on the exhale, you simply let go. There is no reason to hold on. Take one more full breath just like that, filling up, fueling up. Slight pause at the top of the breath, and then simply exhale, let it all go. As we take a moment to bow our heads to each other and to the practice, we cultivate an intention. What brings you to your mat this morning? How do you want to feel? How do you want to be? Starting out with the word, the phrase of high vibration. And turn up the corners of your mouth. As we start to awaken the body, gently start to wiggle it out. Maybe just reach those arms overhead, stretch it out. Then we'll start to find our way into all fours as you swing the legs behind you. As you make your way into the center of your mat, fingertips spread wide. You start to move organically, so wiggling out your hips, down dog, child's pose. Just explore a bit on your own, seeing what feels really good for your body this morning. And also noticing those areas that can use a little extra support. hip circles. It'd be great to start to awaken the pelvis, glutes, hip flexors, maybe shoulder rolls. So I'm just naming off movements, postures, but anything goes. Checking in with your breath. And then we'll start to move together as we find our way into all fours. Knees directly underneath those hips, hands directly underneath the shoulders. We move through cow pose, softening the belly, tailbone up towards the sky, chest and heart glide forward. Gaze can be up. Exhale to tuck the chin. Start to tuck your tailbone as you round your spine. Inhale, uncurling the tailbone, letting the movement come from that movement in the tailbone as it tickles up the spine. As you curl that tailbone under, pushing into the floor. Let's do 2 more rounds. And last round here, breath in. Into child's pose or down dog on the breath out. You're in child's pose, wiggling out those hips, maybe ironing out your forehead. Down dog, start to walk your dog pedaling out your feet, sway those hips. And then we'll all shift into plank or kneeling plank. Inhale. Pause there as you feel your tailbone towards your heels or towards the knees. Pressing into the floor. Slight rounding in the upper spine to begin. Lengthen through the cervical spine, so crown the head forward. And then just soften the heart a little bit. Feel your strength, shifting the weight forward, breath in. Exhale to bend the elbows, slowly lowering down. 3, 2, all the way down to the belly. For this first few rounds, we uncurl the feet. Inhale, cobra pose to lift your chest. You press your pubic bone down to the floor. Feel the heart center draw forward more. Exhale to lower. Walking your hands out a little bit wider, coming to the pads of your fingertips. Elbows are up towards the sky. We inhale, lift the chest again. We press down. Exhale to drop your shoulder, gazing opposite way. Breath in brings you to the center. Exhale, opposite shoulder drops. Do that 1 more round. Using the breath, starting to open up the chest, the shoulders, feeling a slight twist here. Eventually coming back to the center. As you lower yourself back into the floor, we bring the hands to the chest. Curl those toes, pushing yourself back through plank or kneeling plank. Inhale. Exhale, down dog, child's pose. Okay, so throughout your practice, know those are always your options. Settling in. Next sequence can be done through all fours. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale to bend your knee, open up your hip for scorpion dog. Okay, so square off your shoulders a little bit more. Keep lifting that knee up towards the sky. We feel a lovely stretch in the front of the pelvis. Right leg lifts high, inhale. Exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow. So you're gonna twist, tap your elbow, right back up, inhale. Exhale, twist and tap. Inhale, right back up. Exhale, we twist, tap, hold there as you extend your right leg, and then just drop one down to your hip. So you're right into that IT band stretch, dropping down to your forearms. Really press through that right heel, toes curl towards your face. And we'll just hold for a few soothing breaths. One more breath here. One more breath out. So just slowly start to rise back up, lifting up off the floor, right back into plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, bend your elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lift your chest, cobra or upward facing dog. Roll those shoulders back. Exhale, we meet back in down dog. Soothing breaths. Navel drawing into the spine, chest towards the thigh. Same procedure, second side, left leg lifts high, inhale. Bend your left knee, open up that hip, scorpion your dog. Again, square off those shoulders again. Here we go, left leg lifts high, inhale. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, twist, tap, back up, breath in, and breath out. One more time, inhale, and exhale. We hold there as we extend that left leg, slowly dropping down to the hip. Stand the ball, that back foot if possible, come on down to your forearms. We just start to feel the sensations in the outer hip, all the muscles around the IT band. And breathe. One more full breath. One more breath out. We all start to rise back up, taking yourself back into plank. Remember, you know your options. Inhale. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana, bending those elbows, lifting the chest, cobra up dog. Exhale, back into down dog. 2 full breaths. And one more inhale. Exhale, dropping down onto all fours. As we extend the right leg off towards the right side of the room, keeping your arch in line with your knee. Okay. And from here, just do a few rounds of cat-cow in the pelvis. So curling and uncurling that tailbone. So we just start to awaken a little bit more of the deeper muscles in the hip. Do your best to try to keep your spine pretty still. You might feel this in the inner groin, inner thigh. And take one more round. And then holding for that neutral spine. As you reach your left hand off to the side, rotate your wrist out. And then on your exhale, we slide that hand underneath, going in to thread the needle. So you're reaching that left hand towards that right foot. Now you can stay exactly as is. This lovely stretch for the shoulder. If you want a little bit more in balance, you're gonna shift your weight a little bit more to that left and then slowly picking that right foot up off the floor. And just careful of toppling over. Totally okay if you do. A couple breaths here. And one more big inhale. And exhale to lower that leg back down. Slowly rise back up. We go right into gate. As you walk the hands back towards you, rise up on the knee. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale to bend over to the right. One more breath. Exhale, bringing your hands back down to the floor into all fours. As you simply start to slide that right leg back behind you, right into spinal balance. We lift that right leg up off the floor. Left hand can reach forward. Okay, start to awaken core a little bit more as you draw the navel into the spine. Inhale. Exhale, draw your limbs in and round. Breath in to reach forward, extend back. Exhale, draw your limbs in. Last time, breath. And breath out. Inhale to reach. And exhale to lower and release. Take child's pose. Let your hips sink down. Then bend your elbows here. Bring the palms to touch. And perhaps the thumb starts to come back towards the back of your neck as you feel the stretch in your tricep. One more soothing breath. And exhale, letting it all go. And you rise back up through all fours. Same procedure, second side. Extending your left leg out this time. So arches in line with your knee. Do a few rounds. Again, movement in the pelvis. Think cat-cow, curling and uncurling that tailbone. And last time. And then start to find neutral spine. As you reach your right hand off, rotate your wrist around. Take a big breath here. Exhale to thread the needles. You drop on down to your shoulder. So remember, you can stay right here enjoying the stretch. You can also lift that left foot up off the floor. Using your left hand for support. That'll help you balance. Regulating your breath. And we slowly lower that leg down. We all rise up. Going into gate pose, coming onto that knee. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale to bend to the left. Feeling that lovely side body stretch. And then we release. Slowly just sliding that leg back behind you, going right into your spinal balance, lifting that foot up off the floor and reaching your right hand forward. Pressing through your heel, take a breath. Exhale, draw your limbs in and round. Again, inhale to reach. Exhale, limbs, draw in and round. One more time. Breath. Lower and release, either child's pose or downward facing dog. Take a few soothing breaths. Tapping into Ujjayi, a light constriction in the back of the throat. As you smooth out the texture of your breath. One more full breath in. One more exhale, really complete, letting it all go. Right leg lifts high, inhale. Step your right foot between the hands on the exhale, all the way through. If it doesn't quite make it, grab your calf, move it along. Drop onto that back knee. Both arms go up to the ceiling. Crescent lunge. Okay, so to get into Wild Thing, we need a little bit of an opening in the back. So you start to lift your rib cage up a little higher, and then maybe leaning back or bending the elbows if that helps. Continue to scissor the legs together. Think bookends on your hips. Reaching back up to the ceiling, breath in. The exhale brings the hands down to the floor into a half split. Start to shift the pelvis back, straightening out your right leg. Dig the heel into the floor. Melt the chest towards your toes. Feel the opening in the back of your knee. And then you're going to start to wiggle your leg side to side. And then just let that foot open up to the right. So make sure your thigh bone opens up as well. You can stay right here, where you're going to start to walk your hands over to the right, so over your leg, and then you could kickstand that left foot out. So you'll rotate your entire body. Couple more breaths here. And then bringing those hands back to the center as you rotate the entire body with you. We walk those hands forward and bringing the hands to the inside of your right thigh. You're in lizard's pose as you melt the chest down more. Now hugging that right thigh into your shoulder. You can stay right here for more of the stretch. If you want more of the strengthening, picking that back knee up. You can even nuzzle your right shoulder underneath the thigh and hold on to your ankle. In either case, keep your spine lengthening so the sternum is forward. We're here for a couple more breaths. And bringing the hands back down, you're going to frame your foot again. Everyone will pick up that back knee. We go into standing split. Shift your weight into that right foot, slowly lifting that left leg up to the ceiling. One more big breath in. On your exhale, you're going to stay here. You're going to go and just drop that left leg behind the right and cross your thigh. So thigh over thigh, you're in a cross leg position. Shift your weight so you feel balanced and safe here. And then we'll walk the hands over to the right. Now start to just tack your left hip back a little bit and then continue to stretch over to the right. Walking the hands back to center. We're going right into a Shiva squat. So another balancing pose. Your weight is in that right foot again. You just start to bend your knees and just pick that left foot up off the floor. So left thigh behind the right, knees are squeezing in. Gaze up a bit, one hand to the heart or both. Focus, balancing poses are about the mind. So really focus your gaze. One more big inhale. Exhale, hands down to the floor, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Or be back into child's pose. Again, you know your options. Beautiful, you guys. Let it take that time to really feel the movements. Feel the sensations of the breath. Regulate that inhale and exhale. Switching sides, left leg goes high, inhale, stepping your foot between the hands, exhale, all the way through. If it doesn't quite make it, just grab it, move it along, and then we drop onto that back knee. You scooch that knee back so you can feel the stretch. Hands reaching up towards the sky or to your thighs. Always know you have options. Right. Feel your chest just melt through. And your hips are starting to sink down. At the same time, feel the legs scissor together to help stabilize you. Squeeze that right glute. One more big inhale. Exhaling, hands can come down to the floor as we move into our half split. Shift the pelvis back, straightening out the left leg. Okay. So just use your breath here. Every exhale, just feel the heart center come forward more towards the toes. I want to continue to feel the lengthening of the spine. And then from there, we start to just wiggle the leg side to side. So again, make sure that's coming from your thigh bone, not just the ankle. And then eventually that foot just opens up to the left. So the inseam of your thigh up towards the sky. You can stay right there or start to walk the hands over to the left as you kickstand that right foot out and rotate the entire body. Continue to dorsiflex that foot, so toes are curled towards your face. Couple more breaths. As we start to walk the hands back to the center, the entire body turns with you. We find our way back into lunge, and then bringing that left shoulder to the inside of your left thigh, right into lizard's pose. Melting the chest down. Remember, you have your options. If you want a little bit more in the strength, just pick up that back knee. Yeah, you can nuzzle your shoulder underneath your thigh. You can grab a hold of the ankles and balance. Otherwise, just enjoy the stretch, practicing santosha, contentment, and every exhale, softening. And then we'll all start to rise up. Frame your foot. If you're not already there, pick up that back knee. We're going into standing split. Shift your weight into your left foot. As you slowly lift that right leg up to the ceiling. Now just imagine a flag here. So your foot's that flag. The heart center gets pulled down. The strings of the heart get pulled down, and that's what helps lift that leg up a little higher. Rebound by pressing into that left foot. One hand to the ankle or both. Bringing the hands back down, make sure you feel balanced here, and then slowly just lower that right leg behind the left into your cross leg position. So we go into that IT band stretch. Once you have that, walk the hands over to the left. And again, just tack that right hip back, that right hip crease back. Couple more breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. And then we walk the hands back to the center, softening the knees right into your Shiva squat. Left foot is base, right foot lifts. One hand to your heart center or both. Okay, focus, breathe. I'm shaking. Hands to the floor, step or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana, or your other options. Practicing your flow. Once you arrive either in down dog or child's pose, slow breaths in and longer on the exhale. Do that again, breathing in. Give me an exhale twice as long. Beautiful. Start to walk your feet out a little bit wider, about mat distance. Heels are in, toes are out. And we walk the hands back into a squat. So if this is too much on the knees, hips, you can just find a forward fold with the legs wide. Otherwise, finding your squat, bringing the hands to the heart, you can press the elbows into your knees. And you can press the knees back to open up the sacrum, to open up the back body more. Okay, a couple more breaths here. And bringing the hands down, we start to lift those hips up. Start to shimmy your feet in. Toes facing forward, and just do a few rounds of bending and lifting the hips. You can even keep your heels lifting if you want more balance, if you want more work on those calves. And last time, as we lower the heels, as you forward fold, place a hand in the crooks of your elbows, swaying side to side, shaking the head no, shaking the head yes. Interlacing fingertips behind your back, reaching those knuckles up and overhead. When we release the hands, bend the knees a whole lot and slow roll. Rotate those wrists out. Stack your vertebrae one at a time. Letting your chin come up last. We roll the shoulders up and back. Again, shoulders up to those ears, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale down and away. One more time. Interlacing fingertips together, turn those palms out, reach those arms up to the ceiling, big breath. Taking a bend over to the right. Back up to the center, inhale. Exhale, bend over to the left. Rise back up, inhale. On your exhale, release your hands, bend those elbows back into those cactus arms and lean back. But let your tailbone drop towards the floor and let the opening come from the heart. Reaching back up, inhale. Exhale to forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift, inhale. Right foot steps back on your exhale. Moving into horizon lunge. So right leg steps back, left foot is forward. Right hand remains on the mat. All 10 toes will turn over to the left. So again, you'll feel this in that outer hip again. You can reach that arm back. You can hold right here, option to step back into a side plank. Left foot extends back. Nice, you guys, good. Really press through the outer edge of your feet. One more breath. For those of you in side plank, you'll go right back into that lunge, bending that top knee and then stepping back. Awesome. Inhale, plank or kneeling plank. Breath in. Exhale to bend those elbows. Lift your chest, cobra, up dog. Exhale takes us back into down dog or child's pose. 2 full breaths. We all meet through all fours. Inhale right into cow pose. Tailbone up, chest and heart forward. Exhale, curl your tailbone and round. One more time, breath in. And breath out. Neutral spine, down dog, exhale. Right leg lifts high, inhale. Scorpion your dog, exhale. Right leg lifts high, inhale. We're back in our, sorry guys, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Right knee to your left elbow, extend your right leg, and then drop onto your hip. Dying warrior, there's the name. Dying warrior, come on down to your hip. I'm dying up here. Come on down to your forearms. We're right back in, press through that heel. And then this time, go ahead and start to reach your left hand forward a whole lot as you press through that back heel. And let your forehead melt. So we've been here before. You know this shape. Now let yourself exhale and soften in. And then we'll all go ahead and rise back up. Again, pick up that back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Step, hop your way to the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you extend through the spine. Exhale to fold back down. The arms come back up, big breath. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale, sweep those arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, this time into chair. Sink your hips down, bend your elbows, hands to the heart center. Now press the palms together a whole lot. And then we twist over to the right, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Okay, so tendency here is for us to draw forward in that right knee. Can you pull that knee back a little bit and square the hip towards the back of your mat? Beautiful, you guys, good. Back to the center, inhale. Exhale and twist other way. So really wing those elbows out. Really press the elbow to your knee and knee presses back into your elbow. Wringing out your spine. Twist, so good for digestion. Back to the center, breath in. Exhale to forward fold. Halfway lift, flattening out. Exhale to step your left foot back this time. So we're moving into a horizon lunge again. Left hand stays on the mat. All 10 toes start to turn to the right. Again, you'll feel this in the outer left hip. You can stay right there. Your option is also to press into that hand more. Step back into a side plank. You're so strong. Couple breaths. You got this. And those of you in side plank, bending that top knee, you step right back into that lunge. You got it. Nice, you guys. Inhale to plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Lift that chest, cobra up dog. Exhale, back into your down dog. Okay, we move into our dying warrior. Left leg lifts high, big breath. Scorpion your dog first, opening up the pelvis. Left leg lifts high, inhale. Left knee to right elbow, and then straightening out your leg. Press through that heel, shimmy your foot back, back, back as you drop on down to your hip. And then come on down to your forearm. And then start to walk that right hand forward more. Press through your back heel. So we're using our weight to stretch here. Now, if it's too much, just bend that extended leg, and that'll help relieve some tension if you're feeling any. Breathe in fully, exhale completely. One more breath in. One more breath out. And start to rise back up as you step yourself back, downward facing dog. All right, different journey this side. We walk the hands towards the feet, soft bend in the knees, this time into a garland pose. So the heels are close in, knees can open up. Again, if this is too much, just fold over your legs. Some of you, arm balance option here if you want to move into crane pose, Bakasana. That's an option, lifting your hips, sliding your elbows into, or your knees rather, into your elbows or armpits. Gaze is forward. Keep rounding your spine, but take the gaze forward. Okay, so that's the challenge there. Your cervical spine is extended, but your back body is rounded. Nice. Squeeze those heels together. Lift up in the pelvis. Beautiful. Awesome, you guys. And the rest of you, enjoy that stretch. Such a good opening for the hips. And then we all come back down. Awesome, nice job, you guys. Draw those knees together. Fold over those legs. Shake your head no. Shake your head yes. Interlacing those fingertips behind the back. Reaching those knuckles up and overhead. And then turning the chest to the right as you take a bend in that left knee. And then switching sides. And then coming back through the center to release the hands. And then slow roll your way up, one vertebrae at a time. All right, finally we move into our free flow balancing pose. This is the one where you play on your own. We'll start with the hands to the hips, right foot steps forward, dig the heel into the mat, and start to shift your weight. And eventually that left knee can lift up to hip height, and from there you can start to play. So you can move into any shape, movement. You can just explore the space around you. You can maybe play with closing the eyes, forward and back, side to side, up and down, binds. Eventually starting to come back to that starting position. Left knee is lifting, we extend the leg, and then lowering that left foot down to the floor. Dig that heel down as you shift your weight. As you start to lift your right knee up to hip height. And again, play from there, any shapes. Notice your physical body, how's this feeling for you? Notice your mental energy. Maybe you need less, maybe you need more. And just start to tune in. Tune into your breath. Tune into movement. And then eventually, beautifully guys, start to come back to that starting position. No rush as you step your way to the top of your mat. Take your time, walk in place. And bring the hands back to the heart center in prayer. Moving on, inhale, arms reach up to the ceiling, big stretch. Exhale to forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands to the mat, step back into downward facing dog. Zipper your legs together. Shift your weight forward into plank or kneeling plank. We move into our side plank. Right hand is base, flip open. Wild thing is next. So if you want to take it, start to bend that top knee and then slowly step back as you open up the chest. So just imagine that heel lifting, you're pressing the ball of the foot. And then come back around, back into plank. Hold there for strength. Remember, you can drop onto the knees. You can take rest at any time. Left hand is base. We start to shift open, side plank. Top leg lifts, bend that top knee as you open up. Press into the sole of that foot as you lift up, up, up in the chest. Strengthens your back. And then come back around, plank. Either rest in child's pose or move through a vinyasa. And we'll actually meet back in child's pose. Rotate your wrists out. And then rising back up, finding a seat. We'll take the legs forward. Tap out those knees, rotate your ankles out, point and flex the feet. And then go ahead and start to bend your right knee. Place that foot over your extended leg. Okay, stay here and you're just gonna fold over your thigh, or you're gonna grab a hold of that right ankle, pull back a little bit and bring the knee on top of knee. Take a breath here. And the exhale to walk those hands forward as we fold. Great sequence for sciatica. You'll also feel this a little more weight on that left leg for hamstring stretch. And then go ahead and start to bring yourself up. You're going to just place that right foot on the floor if it's not already there. Moving into our twist, right hand behind you, breath is in and up, and then we rotate and turn. We go right into figure 4 from here, come back through the center. Go ahead and just let that right knee drop, ankle on top of your knee. As you lean back on your hands, bend that left knee. Now you can start to hug in a little closer towards your thigh. And that should deepen the stretch. Make sure that right foot is flexed. Again, pressing through the heel. And then some of you, a little bit rocking might feel good here. And then you'll start to lean back a bit. Fingertips either facing forward or turned out slightly. Start to lift your hips. Opening up the chest. Let your right knee start to drop heavy. And strengthening your back as well. One more inhale. We lower those hips down. Extend the leg. Take a hold of that right foot and leg and just start to move your thigh bone around. And then taking your left hand, grab to the pinky edge side of that right foot and then straighten out your leg. You can turn your chest a little bit more again into that twist over to the right. You can also reach your right hand back behind you again for more balance. And then coming back around, bending your knee, right hand can reach towards the big toe side of your foot or behind your thigh, and then straightening out your leg. If you have a good grip on your foot, start to bend your elbows, keep lifting. And then elongate the spine a little bit more. And then slowly release. Extend your legs, little tap of the knees. Switching sides, left knee comes into the chest, over the extended leg. You can stay there, grab the ankle, pull back, over the knee, knee over knee. Okay, otherwise, if you're here, you're just gonna fold over your leg. We all take an inhale. And the breath out lets you fold, reaching those hands forward. This pose also preps you for cow face, which we'll do a little bit later. Let's go and slowly start to rise up, moving into our twist, placing that left foot on the ground, left hand behind you, inhale, exhale to twist and turn. So we always want to feel the length in the spine before we rotate. We could gaze over the shoulder. And breath is in and out. And then coming back around, moving into figure four, ankle on top of your knee, lean back as you bend your right knee this time. Keep pressing that left thigh away from the chest so you can start to scooch in a little more snug if you want a slightly deeper figure four. You can rock a little bit. Couple more breaths. And moving into reverse tabletop figure four as you walk the hands back a bit, lifting up the hips. Level out your hips a bit. It's okay if the knee lifts up. Side is going to be a little different. One more breath. And we lower those hips down, extending that bottom leg, grabbing a hold of your left leg and just move your thigh bone around. Explore a bit. And then taking your right hand to the pinky edge side of that left foot, and work towards straightening out the leg. It's okay if the knee is bent. You just rotate the chest over to the left, and you can straighten out. You can reach that left hand behind you. A little more balance. Balancing poses in a seat take a lot of core work. And then we come back around through the center, and then taking that left hand, grab towards the big toe side of your foot. Again, straightening out. You can also grab behind your thigh. One more breath. And exhale, softening those knees, extend the legs forward. Again, a little tap out. Opening up the knees out wide. V shape. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale to forward fold. So wherever your body stops you, the hands come down to the floor and tuck your chin. And breath is fluid. Make sure your toes, knees pointing up, rolling forward in the pelvis. One more breath. And breath out. And start to rise back up. Lean back, bring those legs together. Okay, moving into cow face. You're just gonna bend your right knee, place that over the extended leg, and then lean over into that left hip and bend your left knee. So once you're here, you're gonna pull that ankle back. Now again, knee over knee, you can also come forward and adjust your feet. Otherwise, if this is too much, just a regular feet is gonna work just fine. We sit tall in the spine. The exhale, forward fold. You can also go back to the earlier version if this is too much, with the bottom leg straightened out. Every time you breathe in, feel the potency of your breath. Every time you breathe in, feeling the power. And on that exhale, feel the patience. And then we start to rise back up. As you lean back, as you unravel those legs, soles of the feet come to touch, knees open up or in bound angle, heels coming close to your glutes. Start to butterfly your knees up and down. Another full breath in. You soften the knees as you forward fold. You can use your elbows to press into your inner thighs, or your knees a little bit more. And then coming back up, we draw the knees together, extending your right leg this time, left foot over your right leg. And then once again, bending your right knee, grabbing hold of that ankle, drop back. Okay, so knee over knee, any adjustment to help you feel the sits bones ground. You sit tall, breath, and the exhale lets you fold. Every time you soften with that exhale, you start to release any tension you're carrying in your body. You start to soften the area around your heart. One more full breath. Twice as long on that exhale. You start to rise back up. Start to unravel those legs again. Ooh. Take them forward, little tap out, little rotation of the ankles. We're gonna come all the way down onto our backs. And then once you get there, go ahead and just start to draw the legs in, circle the knees around. Other direction. And drawing the knees together as you extend the arms out in a lazy T, letting the knees fall to the left. And you could press down with the hands for a little bit more. You can also straighten out the legs for more. Any position you're in with the legs, let your chest peel open, gaze can go to the right. And then soft bend in your knees. We all rise back up through the center. Exhale, knees fall opposite way. Once you have your alignment, you could straighten out the legs. Gazes to the left. And softening the knees back, drawing those legs up to the center. And then feet to the floor, a little adjustment in the hips and spine. Any final movements you need here. So happy baby, some of you an inversion. Perhaps you're just ready to settle into final pose. So for Shavasana or end posture, I offer either a traditional Shavasana, lying down on the floor, or if you'd like to join me for a meditation seat, that's also available to you. Such a great practice this morning. Thank you for all your suggestions. Next week, I think we'll focus mostly on upper body, shoulders. If you'd like to join me for that, please do so. So fun. I'm seeing lots of different shapes out there, final little movements. In the next 5 breaths or so, starting to make your way towards that end posturing, where there's some stillness. And wherever you are, wherever you're at, I'm so glad you are here. Such an honor to move with you, to breathe with you. Once again, we start to close the eyes halfway. And instead of the separation of outside world, inside world, we acknowledge that there is wholeness, that what comes from within is what is expanded back out into the world. And we close the eyes completely as we become the witness of our thoughts. We see the black behind the eyes, focusing at the third eye center. Now for you, just notice what thoughts come up for you. Notice what bubbles to the top. And once again, we just let it be there. And we start to shift our thoughts, our emotions, to the feelings of high vibration. Remember, it starts with that thought, a word or a phrase. And imagining every cell in your body receptive. Breathing in fresh, oxygenated breath. Breathing in the potency of the breath. There's nothing you have to do. You just let yourself receive. We allow the flow of existence to move through us. And breathing in deeply, slowly. Exhaling completely, slowly. And now letting the breath lead. Just following your inhale and exhale. Observing what moves in your body as you breathe. Stay with your breath. Breathing in infinite space. And as that inhale meets the divine being from within, let yourself expand that into the world. With every exhale, twice as long, start to breathe out what does serve you in this world: love, patience, joy, compassion. If you'd like to remain in your Shavasana, please do so. If you'd like to rise up and join us to feel the practice, begin to awaken your body, wiggling toes and fingers, taking a big stretch. As you start to roll to one side of your mat, and we'll meet in a seat at your earliest convenience. We'll draw the palms together at the heart center. So we bow our heads to each other into this practice, bring the thumbs to the third eye. Thank you so much for being. May we ask for guidance. May we ask for wisdom, for learning. Bring it to our lips. May we speak our truth with compassion, with love, into our heart center. Thank you so much for simply being. I leave you with love and light. I leave you with power and with peace. Om. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, you guys. Unmute you guys. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I wanted to say our goodbyes, but I can't seem to unmute you guys. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully, I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Blessings to all of you. Be well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.